Biking can be a fun and healthy way for older adults to stay active and enjoy the outdoors, but safety should always come first. Here to share some practical tips on how seniors can ride smart and stay safe is Battalion Chief Aaron Register with Orange County Fire Rescue. Welcome, Chief Register. And I think as we get a little older, we're not going to be running those marathons anymore, but we go ahead and get a bike and we get out on the trails and we get out in the street. And how can you keep us safe? What's the most important things?
Most important things when you're riding your bicycle is visibility, making sure you have a properly fitted helmet. And as you mentioned, it can bring several benefits such as cardiovascular benefits. It also helps with joint mobility. And it's also a stress reliever, so it's really nice to get outside, get outdoors, but of course we have to ensure safety when we're doing these things.
Oh, absolutely. And you mentioned the health benefits. I think, you know, not only physical health, but social health. Maybe you join a biking club or something. And here we go. We're going to talk mainly on safety. Now, we'll start at the top.
Yes.
A helmet. Always, always, always to wear a helmet.
Always wear a helmet. Helmets come in different sizes. That's not always widely known. So seniors should take time to measure the size of their head and then try on several different helmets within that size range to find one that actually feels comfortable. And then from there, you can adjust the fit ring and the interior pads. Then we're also going to check our straps, make sure they come into a nice V under our ears. And then next we're going to buckle it and make sure that it's snug, but that we could fit maybe 1 to 2 fingers below the buckle. So we also want our helmet to ride just 1 to 2 fingers above the forehead and to sit evenly. We don't want the helmet to tilt forward because that can obviously impair your visibility. Absolutely.
And you mentioned visibility, so I would imagine what you wear is probably pretty important.
100%. So statewide, the Florida Department of Transportation says that over half of pedestrian accidents happen at dusk or dawn hours, so when visibility is low. So wearing brightly colored clothes, making sure you have a headlight and a tail light, and you also have reflectors on your bicycle is very important for visibility.
So here we are, we've got our helmet, we're visible out there, and we get out on the street, and it's always a confusion. Maybe as we age, our eyesight isn't as great, or our hearing isn't as great. So crossing streets, being with traffic can be a little dicey.
Yes, we should always try to use a crosswalk whenever possible. So you would approach the crosswalk, use the crosswalk signaling, then you would obviously dismount your bike and walk it across the crosswalk. It's important too, with mobility as we age, that we have enough time to cross the crosswalk and that vehicles that sit a little higher may not see you. So if you're riding a recumbent bike, or maybe you have a lower bike, you might not be able to be as visible to vehicles that have a taller,
Oh, sure. I've seen the recumbent bikes, and sometimes folks will have like a tall flag on it.
Correct.
So there's better visibility.
Great for visibility so that they could at least catch the flag maybe in their mirror or as they try to look out their windows.
And so again, before we get out on the trails, before we get out in the street, what do I do? How do I check my bike? Make sure we're all ready to go.
Sure, prep work is very, very important. So there's a nice mnemonic, ABC, pretty simple to remember. A is going to be for air. We want to make sure that our tires are inflated appropriately. On the side of the tire, it actually indicates what PSI your tire should be charged to. So we want to make sure our tires are good. We also want to check our brakes. Make sure that they actually stop the bicycle, that our brake pads are in good condition, including the wiring and the handles that you use to squeeze your brakes. C is for chain. We want to make sure our bike chain is nice and lubricated, rust-free, and is nice and tight on those rings on our bike.
And earlier you mentioned to me that, you know, it's important to have a phone charged and some other things with you.
Yes, safety before you hit the road, making sure you have a route. And if you can't ride with a buddy, which we always recommend, if you can't ride with a buddy, you should inform somebody of where you're going, how long you should be gone, and when you should be back. Always carry a charged cell phone, plenty of water, and just making sure that you are going to be back in time that you want to be back.
That you communicate with someone. It's something here at Active Lifestyles we always advocate that, you know, folks know where you're headed and when you'll be back, and also just getting out and being social, being out in the beautiful Orange County on our trails and really taking advantage of having a bike.
Yes, certainly. It's a beautiful place to ride. When done safely, as we've already mentioned, it can be even better. And then if you add friends on top of it, I think that's the recipe for a great time.
So, terrific information. We want to thank Chief Register for those helpful and practical tips. So whether you're riding for fitness, fun, or transportation, bike safety is essential at every age. Thanks again.
Yes, you're welcome.